This is nice. Good to see all of you here. As you were told, I'm Rodolfo Rivera Muñoz. And I've heard some amazing things here, and I think the person that takes all that into account and deals with it beautifully is our candidate for president that you're going to listen to real soon. What I'm here to do is to tell you why I am running for the Texas Supreme Court. And the reason I'm running for that is because lawyers have to do with something with all the things that are complained about, that we're dealing with, that we're trying to address here. And that's what I want to tell you. I want to give you a different spin, seriously different, on the history that we all know. I've been asked as I go around campaigning, why am I running? And I explain that because I'm part of a people that even though we were here before the Europeans even discovered about it, we have not participated. And I mean that. We have not participated literally as a people. According to the state of Texas, we're extinct. We're not here. Well, one of the reasons why I postured myself as candidate is because I've been practicing law 38 years here in Texas, litigating the issues that have to do with who I am, going in front of judges telling them, you don't have jurisdiction over me. How can you have jurisdiction? You claim to be a nation under the rule of law. Do you guys understand what the rule of law is? Well, let me tell you a little bit in the short time that I have, because I think we're already running a little bit late, but I do want to say something about what's unique, my perspective. There's a lot of young people here. You guys are going to see the world change, because these things that I'm talking about are happening now. The rule of law says that the people, you people out there, the people out there are the government. People forgot that. They don't understand. They don't know that. There's supposed to be a conflict between the government and the people. That is the covenant that has been talked about, so forth and so on. The only problem is that nobody denies that I am one of the people that were here centuries ago. My ancestors were here. And yet somehow we're supposed to be extinct. And I'm here saying that I'm not. When I first decided to run, I expected somebody to come out and pat me on the back of the shoulder and say, hey, Mr. Muñoz, how can you contradict yourself that way? You say that the state of Texas is illegal because it doesn't include your people, but yet you're running. Why? How do you justify that? Hey, I say, hey, I didn't develop this law that we're supposed to be existing under. One of the perks of the law that has been developed is that Indians, all Indians, not just me. I'm a Cuauhtémoc and I was born in Kingsville. But all Indians, according to the law, are incompetent wards of the United States. And they don't. That's how come their rights, their human rights have been ignored historically. That's what explains how Texas was built. We all know the history. We all know succinctly stated the history in the 13 colonies. You know the war, it started out as a protest, but then eventually the Europeans that started that as a protest went back to Europe. And they forgot about the Indians. They left them back here. And they went over there, and all the Europeans decided how they were going to divide up this entire continent, North and South America. And so the people that were here were left out at that point. But they have been left out ever since. There's a lot I can talk about, but I want to see if I can cut it down to where I can tell you what happened in Texas. Because Texas is unique, everybody knows. You know, so that the Europeans that did that war, that so-called Revolutionary War, and then decided, hey, we're the Americans, okay? All right, so they did that. Eventually, that same history that we all know, they pushed all the Indian nations west. They kept pushing them west. So when they got to Texas, this is the history that I want to tell you about. The history tells us that the Texians proclaimed a republic here. And Mirabel Lamar was one of the second governors, president, I guess, at the time. But anyway, the event that happened with regards to our identity, and that's everybody's identity, was that they decided, well, what are we going to do? Who's the people? They were annexing, or they were seeking annexation to the United States because they were afraid that that other tyrant from the south, Santa Anna, was going to come back and take it. So the U.S. said, okay, we just have to make 2 sworn assertions. And these are all the history that everybody's thought about. We just don't interpret it this way. Those 2 sworn affirmations that were made were, 1, that the Texians were the people from here, and 2, that they had established a Republican form of government. A Republican form of government means that they represent the people. Again, it all comes back to the people who they are. Well, that still doesn't explain how they ended up. We're still here, and yet we're not included in this government. Technically, I'm extinct. To the extent that I say I'm an Indian, I'm extinct. The reason I'm qualified is because I've practiced 38 years and I've been litigating this issue so long. But also because I'm a statutory citizen. The U.S. says that all Indians are statutory citizens, not constitutional citizens like the rest of you. But anyway, how the critical part about how they made us disappear is this. Lamar and Houston and all those guys decided, well, we pushed all the recognized Indians out of the East and we pushed them in here, and we have some in here like the Cherokee. All right, if we move these recognized Indians out, we move them back into the Indian Territory, which was Oklahoma at that point. Okay, we got rid of those, all the federally recognized Indians. Well, then the other, anybody that's left here must be a Mexican. And so the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo says the Mexicans go back to Mexico. And so that's the way they explained how there are no Indians here. We didn't have anything to do with that. We were not a part of the contract, of the agreement, of the treaty. We were not bought. We were not purchased the way Long Island or New York, the island in New York was. And we certainly have not, my mouth is going to go dry. We certainly have not given our consent. So there's no reason why we should be included. Now, I want to say that is the reason I'm here. And in order to allow you to have the advantage or the privilege of listening to Jill Stein, understand that that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. I am saying, look, thank you. That helps. That's right. And our ancestors knew that centuries ago. And there's some people around that still haven't found that out. But I have to do something about what is happening. If we are not able to step forward and say, hey, look, no, wait a minute, you're wrong. I'm here. I'm a human being. Not only am I a human being, but my ancestors were human beings. They may have been running around the way they are depicted in the history, largely naked, barefoot, eating dirt. That's the way they say, the history books say. It doesn't matter, they're still human beings. We were here and we should be respected, and we can't be exterminated conclusively, definitively, unless we accede thereto, unless we agree to it. So, thank you very much. You're in very much.